Hello.
Hi.
Hi, Toxic. How are you doing?
I'm good, thanks. How are you?
I'm good. Okay, so your big return to Quake Live, or Quake, since Quake 4, I guess?
Yeah.
I think you might have done a bit of Quake Live at first, did you?
Not on a long tournament. Last tournament I were Quake 3 and Athena, I think, ESWC.
Okay, right. Are you feeling good? In form?
Yeah, it feels kind of good right now. Looking forward to start our first game, because you will know a lot more after that game. So far we have been playing a bit of Clan Arena during this time we have been waiting, so we are excited to start playing soon.
How does Clan Arena help you? Is that just about aim warm-up and
Like
movement?
getting used to the screen and the setup, but it's not the same thing to play Clan Arena than to play in a real game.
Yeah.
So we're looking forward to playing the game.
Okay, and I say your first game is against Serious Gaming. Have you watched them play much? Have you practiced against them?
Yeah, we have been playing them quite much. Not the last 2 weeks or so, because they didn't feel like they wanted to play us so much. Because I guess for the same reason that they don't want to show how they play too much. But so far we have been playing quite a bit with them, and usually it's kind of close, depending on what map we are playing.
All right, yeah.
But I think both teams like the old maps, so hopefully we'll be playing some old maps tonight.
Oh, good. Like Grim Dungeons? Doom 14?
Yeah.
Yeah, good.
Yeah, I think so.
Okay, and then the other team in your group, Ultra Frag Extreme, the Americans. Have you seen much of them?
No, I haven't watched any of their games, but I have seen that they have been practicing hard with Reason the last days. And it seems that they are doing better and better, but it's really hard to tell how good the Americans are, because they usually play very different compared to the Europeans. So, but I think they are going to play a more tactical and more safe, more defensive. And what I know is that they like Grim Dungeon since back in the day. So it's really hard to tell how good they are on each map and which map they're going to remove or pick. So we will see what happens.
So who do you think is going to go out of your group? Presuming you go through, is it going to be Serious, or is it going to be the Americans, UFX?
It's really hard to say, because we have no clue how good the Americans are on the new maps and the old maps. So Serious, we have a bit of information, but everything changes on LAN as well. So it might be a lot harder than we suspect, but I know that no matter what team you are playing against, it's very hard to win with a high score. So the team doesn't matter so much. It just costs so much if you make too many mistakes. And the power-ups is a bit more important to take now in Quake Live than compared to the old Quake 3 days, because they are so good.
Yeah. Apart from your teams, the teams in your group, which teams do you think are the favourites for the tournament? Is it going to be Reason or maybe the Russian team?
Well, I think the Russian will, for my part, would be the toughest team to beat.
Really?
They always play good on LAN, and since they are so good with timing the items, they rarely do mistakes. If you compare to other teams that play a bit more aggressive and doesn't really time that much or on so precise. So I think the Russian will be the toughest opponent.
How would you class your team then? A defensive team, an aggressive team, somewhere in the middle?
I don't think we are so aggressive, but I think that's what we have been talking about lately, that we need to play more free for all with team play.
All right.
Like, it's too much timing the items and such crap. I don't believe in that. Like the important thing in TDM is that you come 2 versus 1 all the time. and no matter what situation you are in, you have to tell your teammates where the easy frag are. So too many players try to play so safe, and they want to have so much control instead of just having a good conversation and rush it together. So I think that's the key in TDM, to always come and outnumber your opponent.
And is that what you say the old IC team used to play like?
Yeah, we never like timed any items on. I mean, of course we try to time quad and battle suit and stuff like that, but we just say red armor will come in like 20 something, never on the second. But we always talk so much about where the opponent are, even if they only have a machine gun. I want to know where that player are coming from, so you're already prepared to take the right fight. So we had a lot of good team play, and also try to attack each area together. So, but that's the hard thing now when we play in this mixed team, is that it's hard to communicate on English like fast.
Okay, right, yeah.
No one of us talks so like freely. So we have to think a bit before we say something, and you lose these important seconds to make a decision.
And how do you think TDM has changed since the Quake 3 days? Do you think it's a higher level of play or a lower level?
Well, it's a lot easier to aim now with lag hacks and stuff with Quake Live. So it's harder to really have a good lockdown, because everyone is making so much damage on you. But the most important thing, I think, what have been changing is that most of the teams are timing every item on the second, and they want to be so precise. So I think back in the day it was more important, and most of the team that have been playing for a long time together always made good attacks on a certain area together, like they decided a time that everyone was going to rush in.
Right, yeah.
And but it changed a bit because machine gun was a bit better back then.
Yeah.
So it was most important to be good with machine gun, shotgun, and plasma. Shaft and rail was so overrated, because if you attacked it with two people with machine gun, you would easily kill someone with shaft or rail. And now you really need to have a railgun and a shaft and a rocket to really have to secure area. So it's not as good to rush anymore. You have to be a bit more defensive and make the right balance.
So would you say it's more, which was more fun to play, which style?
The old style, I think.
The old style.
Because it was more attacking.
Yeah.
But I'm sure it would be as fun to play if I could play with the old team again.
Yeah.
And especially if I play with Fox.
But not here, obviously.
Yeah, only commentating.
Yeah.
So.
Okay, well, let's talk about the 1v1. Now, you were entered at first. You withdrew. What was the reason for that?
I didn't feel that I had time to play 2 new maps. And to be honest, I think even Hectic and Hub is a bit unbalanced.
Okay.
Because I dislike the spawn system now. You only spawn on one spawn over and over again.
Yeah.
And they also remove CTN, which is the most balanced map. You rarely see spawn frags. But of course, CTN is like the old days, that it's easy to control, and there's a lot of items on the map. So. And you also can play very defensive and run away for a long time. But I think the map should be like, you shouldn't be spawn frag like more than once occasion. So so it was too much to learn 2 new maps for me, I think, and 3 new maps for TDM. And to be honest, 7 maps in a map pool for TDM is ridiculous, because it will take like 6 months or so to learn all the maps good, because you have to play each map maybe 100 times to really know it good and have a good team play on it. And then if you take a completely new team as well, and you have no experience on playing together, it takes so much time, and you don't want to enter a tournament when you don't know the maps, because it would be just useless. But I hope I can come to QuakeCon and play Duel there.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so I'm looking forward to if they have a good map pool and a balanced one, and then I'm looking forward to play 1-1 again.
Okay. Going back to your Quake 4 days, obviously you're pretty dominant in that. Now, what was the secret to that? How come you could always turn up and win and perform and just be dominant?
Well, the difference in Quake 4 was that it was a lot harder to aim without all these setup clients and lag hacks and these kind of commandos. And I have never had any problem to play on LAN or at the stage. Doesn't matter for me. And I usually just play better when it's an official game. And also I think the game style was fitting me more, because in Quake 4 it was as important to time the weapons and control the weapons like shaft and rail. So sometimes you could offer a mega or a red armor just to be sure that you pick up the lightning gun so your opponent doesn't have one, because there were 30 seconds respawn on the weapons. In Quake Live it's free for all. You spawn and you take a rail and you hit 3 rails and go on and go on. So it's really hard, even if you want to control, if you play against a player who are really good with rail and you want to defend the rail so he doesn't get it, it's kind of impossible to do that, because if you want to be that sure of him not getting a rail gun, you have to give him the red armor and mega. So it was more balance between armor and weapons in Quake 4.
And you think that's the kind of balance maybe Quake Live should go for, maybe?
First of all, I think they should be playing 15 minutes games, because it makes a lot better for comebacks. And also, one of the skills to play in a tournament is to be able to have focus for 15 minutes. If you have been seeing all the tournaments that have been played, some players are playing really bad when they get to the quarterfinal and semi-final, and they can't handle the pressure. And that's about having the right mentality to play in a big event and try to be as good as possible.
How do you cope with that pressure then? Because you seem like a player who's never really had a problem with pressure. Was it always like that, or?
I think I'm used to it, because since I started to play so young, and I always played with my brother, and usually he was a lot better than me in the beginning, so I was used to lose, and I had to learn from the beginning, so I'm used to be having the pressure on me. And I think as well, if I lose, he would tease me so much, so I really wanted to be better, And and I have always been traveling to LAN. I remember we went to the Clan 9, and we boot camped for them before CPL in Quake 3 in the early stage. I think I was just 13 or something, and it was you had seen these guys playing on LAN events, and it was so you kind of get used to it quite early. What sucked was that we won 40 maps, and they won 3 maps, and then 1 week later they went to CPL and won the whole thing, but we couldn't enter in because we was too young. So I have always been playing on LAN, and I'm not getting bothered with it. So.
Okay, well, back to the TDM. What would you be happy with at this event? Top 3, or is it win at all costs, that's it, that's all you'll be happy with?
Yeah, I wouldn't be happy if we didn't win it, but I don't expect it to be easy. I mean, it doesn't matter which team you are playing against, it's really hard to win with a lot of scores, and there is a lot of good teams here. So you can't be sure what placement or who you're going to beat on each map, and since this is my first Quake Live LAN event, so it's a bit different than playing online.
Yeah.
You can make you can pick a lot more fights and be able to win them. And every fight in TDM will be so much so important. One frag can make the difference between lockdown and you get the next squad and battle suit and so on.
Yeah.
So it's really hard to just say that we are going to beat them or that and so.
Yeah.
But I definitely think we are able to win the event if we play up to our standard.
Right, cool. Okay, well, thanks for the interview then.
Yeah, thank you.
Brilliant, and good luck in the tournament.
Thank you.
Yeah, thanks.